Hi everyone, welcome to Fun Fold Friday. Thank you for joining me. Today I have a really fun card. You've probably seen it already in, I kind of did a sneak peek video. This is what it looks like, and you untie it. It says hello friend, and then it opens like this, and those flowers pop up and it stands. Isn't that so cool? And then again, it folds flat. So this is a slimline card. So you might have to make your own envelope or find a envelope for it. If you have an envelope punch board, that's perfect. Maybe I will try and figure out how to make an envelope for this card and show you guys how to do it. So we're using the Lovely Arrangements bundle. This was not on my radar at all. Seems like I do that a lot. It was, and then I start seeing projects made with it, and I was like, okay, I guess I need to get it. So that's what we're doing today. Just a few more days to get the Stampin' Positioner when you join my team. My team's the Lucky Charms. The Stampin' Up! Positioner is a positioning tool. So like the Misty, our old Stamparatus, this is a new one. It's pretty cool. Though what's nice is that when you put it down, your stamp is not touching until you push. So you can see where your position is. And so again, if you want to join my team, you can get this for free. It is a $49 value. And you know, everything on my team is optional. We do have team meetings. Don't mean you have to attend unless you want to. You could be a hobby demo and just continue to get your 20% discount. And, you know, but if you want to participate, that's the more the merrier. We'd love to have you. So let's go ahead and turn you down because this card might take a little while and get started. Thanks for joining me. A couple of things to go over really quick. So I am very excited to share with you that I have partnered with 5 other amazing Stampin' Up! Demonstrators, and we have created this tutorial that is strictly using the product of the month. Well, not strict, you know, we use stamp sets and stuff, but all of your projects use the product of the month. So this month was the Painted Illusions Designer Series paper, and if you recall last week for my fun fold, I used this designer series paper. So this month, this is like a 27-page tutorial, and you get step-by-step instructions on each project. So when you spend $75 in my online store, before taxes, rewards, and shipping, you can get the product of the month for $5. So even if you don't get the product of the month, I'm still going to send you the tutorial, but it would be amazing to get the product of the month because then you already have 12 projects that you know that you're going to use on your, with your product of the month. So that is just some exciting news. And then the second thing is, you know, my Let's Create Craft Club of this month. We use the Easter basket bundle, and this is a little sanitizer holder. So registration for this one, or the subscription deadline for this one, will be March 7th. And then next month, I have a sneak peek of a new product that is coming out. Okay, so that is that. So here again are all your measurements, the products that I used. I'd appreciate if you shop my online store and get these products. I'm trying to earn an incentive trip for the very first time, but I need the sales. So please, if you're thinking of ordering something, order from me. And there's just a couple of days left if you want to join my team, and you could get the Stampin' Positioner. Actually, tomorrow is the last day for you to get that, and to use your bonus day coupons, and to get the Painted Illusions. Okay, so here is our card, and you open it, you untie it. It says, hello, friend. And it kind of opens like this, but then look, it goes like this. Look at that. And then it will stand up and you can put it at your desk. Isn't that so cool? So there's a couple of steps to this card, and I'm gonna move that aside. And we're using this gorgeous, Lovely and Beautiful Designer Series paper. And I forget, I didn't pull the patterns out, but this is gorgeous. This one actually does not coordinate with the Lovely Arrangements bundle, which I will show you in a minute. Well, I know we're going to use this piece. Look at that. It's got some gold in it. We are going to use, what else do I use? Let me see. Oh, oh no, we do use a piece of this. And we're going to use that back side. I think we're using the back side of that. And it's not this one, but look at how gorgeous these are. Is it this one? Now I'm so confused which one I used. It's not this one. It's not this one. Maybe it is this. It's this one. Okay. So gorgeous, gorgeous pick. Look at that gold. Just so pretty. And then the back sides of them. Gorgeous. Okay, so now that I pulled that out, excuse me, the allergies are killing us here. Okay, and so I used this die, just one of them from the Beautifully Celebrated Dies. And here's the bundle that we're using, the Lovely Arrangements. And pretty much we're going to use every single die except for this one. And we're using a few of the stamps. So one other thing is we're using these gorgeous pearlized faceted circles. They're called, not gems, but circles. And I'm using this gold striped ribbon. I pulled this one out because I like the gold that went with that. And we are using Old Olive and Calypso Coral inks. So where do we want to start? Shall we start with, let's start with our stamping and die cutting, because we're going to need all that to assemble our cards, our pop-up piece, I should say. Okay, so I'm going to start out with some basic white cardstock, and I'm going to stamp the flowers in Calypso Coral. And so we're going to need 3 of the large ones. 1, 2, I'm going to put this other one down here, 3, and then we're going to need 2 of the half flowers. So I can go, I'm going to try to get the most out of my cardstock. And here. Okay, so now we're going to stamp the flowers in Calypso Coral ink on Calypso Coral cardstock. And I believe I need 2 large ones. I hope this piece should be big enough. I didn't measure my pieces. 2 big and too small. I thought that ink was going to land right on my shirt. All right, so let me make sure. Yeah, we need 4 flowers. So 2 large and 2 half. Okay, and then now we're going to have some leaves. And we're going to do Old Olive on Old Olive. Again, I just grabbed some scraps. And we need 2 sets of these. Again, trying to get the most out of my cardstock. Okay, and I think the rest are die cuts, but since I have this out, let's stamp our Sending Smiles in Old Olive. We're going to stamp that right in the center. That way we can get all our die cutting out of the way. And then we need Hello Friend in Calypso Coral. So that was Old Olive on Basic White. And let me look back at our card. Hello Friend is in Petal Pink, which is what I thought. And so Calypso Coral in Petal Pink. My block looks very dirty. I need to clean all these. All right, so let's get some die cutting done because we need to assemble our pretty pop-up. Okay, so I need this one. And we're gonna need some leaves. So I'm just gonna die cut these. I can't remember how many I need offhand, but we're just gonna put those there. Let's do this Hello Friend. And try and stick as many on this as I can. I might have to, let me see. Let's get one of these. Is that lined up correctly? Wow, I'm shocked I got that on the first try. And we will do this one. And I don't have, let's say I don't have any tape, but let me grab this tape. Now this video might take a little bit longer just because of all the elements to this card, but man, isn't it a wow factor? Okay, let's cut these. And we're gonna need some more. Get these leaves. These leaves here, these die cut ones, they're a little fragile. Let's put this one here. Let's cut some more. I was gonna say, what happened to my die? It took off on me. Cut some more of those just because I'm not sure what we need. We can swap these out and swap this one out and put this one in. Sending smiles. I like how the sentiments fit perfect in this circle, or I guess you could call it an oval. Okay, this little guy does not want to cooperate. Excuse me. Like I said, darn allergies. You know, we had all the dust flying around for days, and then we actually have nice weather. So, but the allergies are really kicking in. I think I've mentioned it before. I've had the sniffles for so long. Okay, so let's get these ones out of the way. Again, a lot of die cutting. Not sure on these leaves how many more we need, but I'm going to set that aside for now. We are going to need, let's see if we can fit all these on. We're going to need this circle die cut. We're going to need this oval, or this label from the Beautifully Celebrated. And are we going to be able to fit some flowers on here? Let's see. See, I knew it was too good to be true that I got it right on the first ones. You just keep turning it and turning it and turning it until you find your spot. And this one's going to move on me too. That happens when you have, and I'm using the magnetic plate from the very old Big Shot. But when you have a lot of dies, sometimes it does that. The magnets want to do their own thing. All right, so let's try and get these ones all cut. Hopefully whatever I have underneath didn't move. And this one is such a cool die. Move that aside, that aside. We need to go back to some more flowers and flowers. You know, I should have counted how many die cuts there are. I just, when you create and you just add. Darn. I got that darn tickle. Let's see, I think, are we here? No, I went around too much. Still went around. Here we go. I got that darn tickle. And I'm gonna have to go grab my water. Oh, I was gonna cut some more leaves just in case we need them. But we got one more flower to cut so we can do some leaves. And I think, oh, we have one more die cut. We have this one here. And this is gonna be on our front. And this, you just want to center it on your, what size was this one? I think I have it on 3.5 by 2 3/4. So let's add this guy again. Why do I? Dang it. I'm gonna need to grab my water if you guys have patience with me for a second. Let's do some more of these leaves just because. Where's my tiny leaf die? I got things all over my. All right, and I think that may or may not be it on the leaves. If we need more, we'll run them through in a bit. Okay, so like I said, a lot of dice. Sorry, darn it. This one is such a cool texture. And let's get these out of the way. And then maybe now we can start to assemble. We got to create our card base. And I will show you. Okay. So I think we're going to need our trimmer first. So, sorry the measurements got moved with all my... You guys take a screenshot of this if you need those while I get some water. All right, sorry about that. Okay, so we're gonna need a 7 3/8 by 8.5. So we're gonna do 7 3/8, and we already know that this side is 8.5. Darn. And then we need a 3 7/8 by 8.5. So 3 7/8. Move this out of the way. So we're going to score this one at 3.5 inches. 3.5. Now I want to score both sides just because we want this to be very flexible when we're flipping it. And then on our other piece, this is the 7, let me make sure, 7 3/8. Did I not do this? 7 3/8. What did I do? Is this, oh, this is the wrong piece. 7 3/8. I'm so sorry about this tickle. So on the short side, which is a 7 3/8 inch side, because this is the 8.5, we're going to score this one at 3.5. And then at 7. And let's do this again. 3.5. Just scoring both sides just because we want to make sure that we're flexible. And then 7. Okay, so that's it on our card base pieces. We're going to have to cut our designer series paper. So we definitely want to burnish these lines. And a little 1/2 inch, because this is kind of like our, this piece is, I guess our mechanism, you would want to say. And I hope I remember what side to put the tear and tape on that one. Okay, so we are going to, on this piece, we're going to add some tear and tape across here. And, uh-oh, I just lost my mini glue dots. Okay, so now this with the tear and tape on it is, if we turn it this way, this is the front of your card. So it's going to be this piece. Okay, so then we're going to turn it over and we're going to decorate here, and our tear and tape is on the top. So this is where we're decorating. Makes sense? Tear and tape's on the bottom, front of the card. Turn it over, and the tear and tape is now on the top of the opposite side, and we're going to decorate here. Okay, so let's grab all those pieces. I myself have to even look at my card to see what I did to where I put all my flowers and stuff. Get some of this stuff out of the way. So many dies. Have you guys seen this fold before? So cool. Okay, get all these little thingies out of here. I got some leaves stuck inside this die. Like I said, these ones are kind of fragile, but they sure are pretty looking. Okay, so I'm gonna grab mine so we can go kind of by what I did. So you want to make sure that you decorate above the score line. So kind of what I did is I just added some glue, you know, not a whole lot, and then I added my flowers. And I want to make sure, you want to make sure that you stay within this, because it'll be peeking out of the fold. And then I added this one. And then I added, let's add some more glue. And we're going to add our leaves after. So then I tucked this one under. I wanted my Calypso coral ones in the center. And then the basic white on the outside. And then more glue. And we'll turn this one in. And where's this one? Is gonna go over like so. I think I tucked this behind here. And then this one is gonna get tucked behind this one. And again, make sure you're within this line here and then above the score line. So see how easy that was? The little complicated part could be, and you can use your take your pick tool. I have this little guy. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to just tuck my leaf under there, just to where you want to add your leaves. But again, it's got to stay on top. I think I did this one a little different, but it's okay. We can add some glue. If you don't want to use glue, you could always use glue dots. We're going to add, this is going to look a little bit different. For some reason, mine's not exactly, I'm not sure why. This one might have been moved over a little bit more. And my leaf was over here. So anyway, you put your leaves where you want. I'm going to add this one right back here. Hold it for a second. Add this one You know, this glue, a little goes a long way, so we're going to tuck that one back there. And the rest are going to go on this portion. Okay, so let's cut the designer series paper for this, which is going to be 3 3/8 by 8 3/8. 8 3/8 by 3 3/8. And we're gonna need this one the same. So let's go 3 3/8 by 8 3/8. I know these eighths. You know me, I always like the eighth. Okay, and then since we have it out, let me see what else we need. I know I need this green one to be 7/8. So 7, I think this is 7/8 by 7 7/8. This is for our stopper. And I already cut this one. This is the petal pink. This is going to go on it. And this is 1 inch by 8. So we'll move that aside. What other designer series paper? I don't think I need any more paper, but I need another, the white for the inside, which is the same as the designer series paper. Let me see if this is going to be 8 3/8. Yes, just enough. So 8 3/8, or 3 3/8, 3 3/8 by 8 3/8. I'm going to take a smidgen off of this piece. I happen to have that one. So again, all of these measurements here are important to you. It's starting to get that tickle again. So let's add our piece. Look, I hate to cover up that piece. I'm going to grab some seal instead of using the glue. Normally I would use glue. Okay, this again, we have our very thin border. Put that on. We're gonna add this on. I'm gonna actually use some glue on this. I had my measurements on the back of this piece so that I knew what I needed. So glue that one on. We are going to add some dimensionals to our flowers. These are the other ones we had die cut. And put this one here. I usually like when I overlap, I like to put my dimensionals down first and then put my flower. This one can go here. And we are going to add a dimensional behind our leaves. You could add 1 or 2, or you could even add minis. I'm just going to add 1 for it to go out like that. And then our other stamped one. I think I got a little sticky there. We'll go there. Let me get my adhesive eraser. This is the best thing ever. All right, then our sending smiles. I glued this on because we're gonna glue it across our flowers. Like so. Is that straight? All right, and now, okay, here's gonna be my hard part. Okay, so this is gonna go like this. And what did I say? I said that The front is the side with the tape at the bottom. So now we're gonna decorate that. I think I might have got out of the camera, sorry you guys. And we're just gonna use some seal and add this one on. It's hard, I try not to cover the measurements, but I have to. So here's key two, is when you do this, if you have a pattern and you want it to go the way, you know, you want it to face the way when you flip it, you want to make sure that it is facing the correct direction, because I'm going to show you, learn from my mistakes. This one technically is upside down. You really kind of can't tell, but it is. All right, so let's get all these guys out. I have my brush that I should be using. And we're gonna glue this guy down. My word, when I get done here, I'm gonna have to go take an allergy pill. Because with the sniffles and all of the scratchy throat. Okay, so we're gonna glue this one on. And again, look, I had my measurements on the back. My throat is really getting scratchy. All right, so we'll just put this here. And I hope that I am not putting this on wrong. I'm like a little frazzled because I'm losing my voice with this scratchiness. Okay, so we're adding this right to the center, and I always just like to add another layer of, you know, something. So we're gonna add this here. Oh, my bad. I stamped this in the wrong color. Look. Did I do them opposite? Maybe I did them opposite. Where's our sending? I did that one right. This one was supposed to be Old Olive, but that's okay. Never a problem. So let's add some of those gems before we attach these two. Or I forgot, they're not gems, they're called circles. And we're gonna add a big one over here and a smaller one over here. I'm just checking to make sure that I'm in the camera. Okay, so now here is this is all done. This now is our bottom, and we are going to add our basic white piece. Again, I'm going to use some seal, and hopefully I have not gotten out of the camera too much. This is going to go right on here. And then we have our stopper pieces. So 1 by 8. I put all my measurements on the back. This is so pretty too. The only reason I didn't go with that side is because I didn't use any of the fresh freesia in this card. So could you imagine if you used that and you put, you made your flowers with fresh freesia? So pretty. Okay. So now we will just stick this one here on the bottom. I have like such a mess all over And I'm just leaving like a little border. Oops. I'm always eyeballing. And then when the camera's above you, you don't want to stick your head in it. Okay, so now we're going to add a piece of tear and tape up here. I think we've got all our decorating done. This is a lot of decorating, but you can, you know, you can make it how you want. So now let me, okay. So I added tear and tape to both sides. So tear and tape, they're going to stick together. You could use glue. The reason I did this is so that we could tell which side was which side, you know, the front, the back, how this was on the bottom, then it went to the top. And so that's why I'm putting tear and tape against tear and tape, if that makes sense. Because you're like, normally you would only put tear and tape on, and actually I probably didn't have to put it there, just as long as it was here. And this is going to, I hope I did not do this wrong. I'm trying to, oh no, did I do it wrong? I'm kind of thinking maybe, no. So this is going to stick to this. So you might want to flip it over and line up your little 1/2 inch sections. And I'm trying so hard not to stick my head in the camera. So let me make sure we got this right. Yep. So it's going to go like this. And then when they open it, it's going to go like that. Whew, for a second there, I thought I did not do this right. But I'm going to re-burnish my score lines. Just again, this makes a difference. So this, and where is our ribbon? Where did I do with my ribbon? So we are, let me make sure that we decorated everything the same before we close this up. Nope. I added some of those circles at the bottom here. So let's add our circles. Let's add a big coral one, a small white one, oops, and another big coral over here, and a small white one. Oops, it stuck to my hand. Okay, so those are there. This here looks the same other than my stamping. Don't do what I do. And then these two look fairly similar. Oh, I forgot to put some leaves over here. See, I forgot those ones. So I did have an extra set, so I could put them there, but they're gonna hang over. So again, and so let's fold this one up. Let's get our ribbon. You know what? I'm gonna use my tweezers to hold this down for a minute, and then I am going to get another pair of tweezers. Can never have too many, right? I need one to be my, well, actually, I think I'm using both of them to be my hands today. I'm going to pull this up a little. I got this one over here holding my card closed for a minute, or just down. And then I'm going to get this other set that I have and hold that down so it's like my finger, because I'm not coordinated enough to hold down with my finger and tie at the same time. I'm not lucky to be that coordinated. So let's take this one off, take this one off. Let's adjust our bow. And this ribbon's so pretty. And the gold, because the gold in the designer series paper, I think is absolutely gorgeous. All right, so where's my ribbon scissors? I'm gonna snip this one just a tad. And there is our card. I hope you guys like it. So let me, remember, it goes like this, and then it opens and folds. So this is called an inside out card, because there's your inside and there's your outside. So let's go ahead and tie this one back up. And so this is a slimline card. I would have to try and make, I could probably do the same as a regular, you know, greeting card. You just wouldn't have as much decorations, but I bet it'd be cool. You know what? I might have to work on that for another Fun Fold Friday. But thank you guys so much for joining me. And I will be back next Friday with another Fun Fold. So you could see the difference in the sentiment. But again, if you need a screenshot, these are the products that I used. My link to my online store. And here are the measurements that you'll need. So you might have to stop and rewatch my video. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. I think this was such a fun, really a fun fold card. All right, everybody, take care and have a good weekend. Bye-bye.